piece of legislation is in its early stages in the State House, but it's already raised some legal and ethical concerns. The bill proposes shorter sentence incentives for prisoners who donate organs and bone marrow. Western Mass News reporter Paris Dunford getting answers for us tonight and breaks down the legislation.
An act to establish the Massachusetts Incarcerated Individual Bone Marrow and Organ Donation Program. That's the name of the bill 2333, currently sitting in the Massachusetts House of Representatives after being introduced in February. It proposes establishing a program that would offer an incentive for prisoners to donate organs and bone marrow by way of shortening their sentences. It reads, quote, "The bone marrow and organ donation program should allow eligible incarcerated individuals to gain not less than 60 and not more than 365-day reduction in their length of their committed sentence in Department of Correction facilities or House of Correction facilities if they are serving a Department of Correction sentence in a House of Corrections facility, on the condition that the incarcerated individual has donated bone marrow or organ." State Representative Carlos Gonzalez signed and sponsored this bill.
I have friends that are waiting for donors, and I know we all have members of family that are incarcerated, and there's no reason why in Massachusetts that the Constitution should take anybody's right away to be a organ donor or a bone marrow transplant.
Western Mass News took this bill to criminal justice professor Craig Dunton to learn what legal and ethical issues the legislation raises.
There's a reason why we keep our system to a donation-only one.
Dunton says this could be a clear violation of federal law, which prohibits the sale of organs. By offering a shorter sentence incentive, it could be perceived as compensation.
When you think of the state essentially leveraging somebody's freedom based upon their willingness to donate their organs, it's really unpleasant to think about.
We spoke with Maria Goldner, Deputy Director of Policy at FAM, a national nonprofit working in criminal justice reform. She agrees with Dunton, calling this bill dystopian.
We were shocked and horrified when we saw this bill. This is extremely rare. This is an awful idea, in my opinion, and in FAM's opinion. This is really dystopian. This is something out of a horror movie.
And Representative Gonzalez tells me they're already making changes to this bill after receiving some pushback.
We have put together a committee with some of the co-sponsors as well as some of the medical experts in the field of organ donor. And we're going to take out the incentive component of that and create that policy, which was the essential component of the bill.
He tells Western Mass News he'd like to change the bill, making it a voluntary program for prisoners without the incentive piece. But even with those changes, some have their doubts.
I would still have some concerns about that adjustment just because, pivoting from this to that, I would be a little bit concerned that people are still thinking that there's going to be a quid pro quo.
Now, the bill has not had any movement since being proposed, but in order for it to get passed, it would have to be taken up by a committee, be voted on, and passed by both the House and Senate, something Dunton believes is highly unlikely given the ethical concerns. Reporting for Western Mass News, I'm Paris Dunford.